Back to game number 3 of the Corsair Summer Gaming Tournament. It is VP up against NEXT.kz. We're here in Group A of Day 1. We've got one more day of Group A action. Then we're gonna have our two teams who advance to the playoffs. Right now, VP and NEXT.kz, though, they're just fighting for survival. In the upper bracket of this group, we have got Icy Cup as well as Rock's Kiss. They're the two winners from today, but VP and NEXT.kz, one of these two teams will be knocked out tomorrow. The other will advance to play tomorrow and fight for their survival and their advancement into the playoffs. But guys, it's God's here from Going Summer. Joining me is LD with Game 3. It's been a long day, LD, but we're still holding up okay.
Yeah, it's been a long day, it's been a long night for you, and, well, I've seen the sun set and rise again, and here we are, and it's our last match of the evening, and it's possible that VP could be eliminated on day one of this event, which, if you had told me that before today had started, I would have said, there is no way. But here we are.
They beat Alliance, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and, well, things have taken a quick turn.
How is that possible? How can you beat Alliance one day and almost get knocked out by NEXT.kz and IC Cup? Not to take anything away from these teams, but come on. The Alliance went to G1 League. They came, they saw, they conquered.
It's all about the throws.
Yeah, they do have that standard. And as much as it's not even that Medved is playing particularly poorly. I actually think he's done decently from the games that we've cast, but it just throws off your rhythm. Maybe you draft differently. Maybe you're not as confident to go in. You have to communicate more instead of just knowing how the other player is going to play. All these little things could definitely add up, and here we are.
I like this Game 3 draft of VPs, though. They got a fast Darksea pick. They pick up the Naga Siren, which has some nice synergy. You can set up the wall, the ult, with a vacuum inside the Naga Siren sleep, and it also works nicely against Lifestealer having a Naga Siren. And then VP, one of the teams who love to use disruptors as well. I say they love to use them. It's not like they're picking him every game, but they're one of the few teams who will quite often pull him out as a 4th or 5th pick in that support role.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing the player cards is that they do pick quite a bit of disruptor. I believe it's Arsart who's been playing it.
Okay.
Is it Arsart or actually, you know, it might be the who's their other support player?
I think it's normally their other support player who handles it, but
yeah, whose name is escaping me because I haven't slept. I'm actually going to look that up now because shame on me for not knowing it immediately. It is NS. Jesus Christ. How did I not remember NS? Why is he not here? Of all players to be missing. My goodness.
Yeah, it's weird. Like these teams, like these famous players, like you'll see a team they're missing their main player, and like a team like VP, it's like who is actually missing? And this is normally their drafter as well, which Arsat's been doing some of the drafting. This game it's actually Illidan doing drafting, but they're missing their captain. So you talk about the stand-in factor. When the stand-in's your captain missing, well, that can influence your results.
He got benched, and you know, guys, I was kidding, of course, but you know, guys, I actually kind of like what NEXT.kz's done here with their draft. They get Lifestealer. That's obviously a good way to start a draft. But they also just get a lot of self-sufficient heroes. Gyrocopter, Puck, Lifestealer. Gyro needs a little bit of help, but even he's a tricky one to get too aggressive on. You've got to be very careful about when and how you do it. You want creep support. You don't want to dive too far. They've got team fight, but they've also got some gank potential. They have a vehicle for the Lifestealer. VP has this very potent potential for a huge team fight, but NEXT.kz have lots of pickoff and some great team fight of their own, and a very hard to kill carry in the Lifestealer, which always makes you happy.
Yeah, I think a big thing that teams are realizing is picking these hard to kill core heroes is a very important thing, which is where you're seeing a lot of the Puck, the Queen of Pains, and for carry heroes, Gyrocopter's not fallen off completely, but he's no longer always the go-to carry. We're seeing Lifestealer, of course. He's risen. He's risen, and he's even with the recent nerfs, he's not really seeing a whole lot less play. He's still being picked up very high priority. VP round things off with an Earthshaker pick, so interesting. I mean, obviously a strong support in his own right, and a hero who can sit far away from the Lifesteal as long as he doesn't get jumped on by someone like a Puck Lifestealer bomb. If he can sit back and not get caught, this will be a nice counter initiator.
You know, this almost reminds me of how Zenith drafts sometimes, where they just get this idea in their head, like, we want to do a super 5-man lineup, and then there was a game they played in the Beyond the Summit World Tour last year before the International too, and granted those were online games with a lot of pain, so I'm sure they were just experimenting, clowning around, but they picked a similar lineup. It was like Naga, Darkseer, Disruptor, I think a Tidehunter instead of an Earthshaker, and then some other carry, but it seems somewhat reminiscent. A very, dare I say it, it's a gimmicky almost 5-man lineup. Like strong lanes, you can see how they could get ahead, but if it goes late enough, VP should really be in trouble, because NEXT.kz have amazing heroes in the Gyro to just clear out the Naga illusions. They have a potent semi-carry in the Lifestealer, 2 natural Hex carriers in the Puck and the Windrunner. The only thing is maybe their lineup's a bit greedy, because now they have to run a support Windrunner, it looks like.
Yeah, not the support Gyrocopter. Mantis has picked that up, so it's a support Windrunner. Yeah, this is... I guess you can go offensive trialing with this, with a Windrunner and Leshrac as your 2 range supports, but it's ill-advised against an Earthshaker, and Naga Siren's actually packs a punch. If you can get that Riptide off, then a lot of physical damage comes out with that minus armor. And Darkseer's going to win most 1v1 matchups. So I imagine we see both teams go with the standard safe lane, tri lane, unless one of the teams wants to do something out of the ordinary. And well, I like VP's draft a bit better here. Just they just really have all areas covered. They've got the nice dual core with the Weaver as well as the Naga Siren. They have Darkseer to round off their team fights. They have got that super team fight, but they also have the ability to take scrappy fights because of the Weaver, and Earthshaker does pretty nicely there as well.
Well, you talked a lot about VP's lineup. I'll introduce their players. KSI, your offlaner, your 3 position. He'll be playing one of his signatures, the Darkseer. Tame My Wilder Crazy. He normally plays the mid role for this team. Is it a mid Naga Siren? Something we've seen occasionally. I've seen it a lot in pubs, but not personally haven't cast it too much in pro games yet. It's not that common in the Eastern scene. Well, it looks like it anyway. Jotum, the stand-in, that is a sick mount for his Disruptor, the Disraptor, if you will. I know Draskell's a big fan of that name. Illidan, your Weaver, will be heading to the safe lane. And last but not least, we've got Mr. Arsart. Who's your daddy on the Earthshaker?
Disruptor never struck me as a hero who would wear an eye patch. I'm not sure if I'm digging the eye patch.
Yeah, I like the mount, though. This is a cool-looking bird.
It's a cool mount. Over on the Radiant side,
not as cool as Elgato, though, which, by the way, is in the Dota 2 store now.
There's people out there who've already started getting views on him. That last game was the first viewable game for your Elgato courier. Some of you... I think you can maybe go back and watch replays that we cast. I'm not sure how it works. I know, like, with TI3 qualifiers, you could watch replays. I'm sure there's probably some people who just went and spammed the replays and already have like 20 views, but we'll introduce NEXT.kz. How about that? We've got Reeves playing the Leshrac, Mantis or Manta playing the Gyrocopter. We then have the Windrunner being played by really nice. We've got the solo mid player, which is going to be, I can't actually read his name. He's evading me.
It's
what a fucker playing the puck. I thought that I didn't want to read it. I was having some weird resolution issues. And finally, Lifestealer being played by Stalcat.
So they are running a 3-position offlane Lifestealer, and they're doing it against a Weaver in the safe lane, which basically means Lifestealer has to jungle. Actually, they're going to rotate really nice here instead.
Yeah, this is good because you don't need the supports bottom, and you only need one hero pulling, which will be the Leshrac. Windrunner will probably not get anything at top, but if the lane ever does push out, this was meant to be a support Windrunner, and a would-be support getting any experience and farm at top would be great.
I like Naga mid, just because Riptide got a huge buff. It's 10-second cooldown at all level. It was a nerf, and it got reverted. I think after the International 2 is when Naga got the big nerf stick. Her base damage is still lower than it used to be. I want to say it was like a 12 or even... it was a huge base damage nerf she got, but Riptide, very spammable nuke, strong in the lane, and I don't know that Naga necessarily beats Puck normally, but when you start with a poor man shield, Puck is hard-pressed to harass you out of the lane.
Puck's like a little Bijou. Does not hit particularly hard. Did get a couple small buffs to base damage in some of the recent patch. Not the most recent patch, but I think the patch before, but...
Yeah, I think it was 6 damage.
Naga Siren actually here got a nerf to base damage, but just having Riptide, and we'll probably see a fast bottle. Once the bottle's there, well, there's more than enough spam ability with the Riptide to get some decent farm. And
nice denies by what a fucker. He did start with the Dull Talisman. He was pulled as well. So both players got pulled. The Naga's starting to take a bit of harassment, but once the bottles come out, they can both look to push the lane.
Shaker.
What has he done? Oh, he's doing the ancient pulls.
He missed 2 of them. 2 of them started walking back to the lane. He only got half of it. He almost got the full way. But either way, this will get this creep wave back towards his tower. Earthshaker is going to be like the offlane hero.
Well, he can... The nice thing with Earthshaker offlane... Oh, no. I've done it. I've missed First Blood. I've gone full Toby.
Today, though, at least, hopefully.
One of my few missed First Bloods. I've definitely missed quite a few kills today, but haven't missed many First Bloods.
First Blood miss.
Yeah. I've gone full Toby, guys.
I missed
There's no going back.
I'm on a touchpad, but that's still no excuse.
Sorry about that, guys. It has been a long day. I won't make any more excuses, though, because that's loser talk. We'll just see if I can improve from here. Stallcat has picked up Gloves of Haste, Jungle Lifestealer, going for a Midas. What do you think about the overall trades between these two teams? Is anyone having a clear advantage to you right now?
I think it's slight advantage to VP just because of how Dax is, in theory, the better and faster jungler, although he's not much ahead of the Lifestealer, but he will be soon with this big stack of his. So Lifestealer is sort of I think he gets a lot more out of the fast early farm because he can get a fast mech for his team. Assad actually stunned up near the Ancient.
Bottom
He's actually going to
lane.
go down. Assad should be dead.
Edict, rocket barrage. That is probably the strongest 1-2 punch of just pure single target damage if it's not hitting anything else, and it wasn't there. Easy kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and something we've seen NEXT.kz in both the last 2 games as well as their previous series. They like to go for these fast towers. One of the series that they lost to Roxkiss, they got 2 very fast towers in their safe lane at the cost of Roxkiss getting 2 super fast Midases on Nature's Prophet and Limesword, but they'll quite happily take these fast towers if they can, but VP seem to be somewhat ready for that. They have got Earthshaker once again at bottom lane.
Yeah, Earthshaker back at the bottom lane, has hit level 3. It's not really the creeps at the Ancients, because he's only managed to kill one of the small rock columns. It's the fact that, like you said, it pulls the lane back. Mid lane, confident positioning from Tame My Wild. Has a haste rune bottled up, not going to be killable, and is probably going to get the 4-minute rune. He's going to beat NEXT.kz to the invis. He'll even get to use all his bottle charges here.
Yeah.
Very efficient play.
Cheeky. He gets there, uses all his bolt, picks up the invis rune. This is going to hurt Puck a lot. Puck can bottle Crow, of course, but it's Naga Siren. You can also use these runes to inflict quite a bit of damage on the Puck if you want to.
They're going in on our start, but he was able to spot out the gank and rotate off. He doesn't have wards, so it's just purely map sense for him that's keeping him safe when it does.
Oh, nice fissure under the tower. Mantis does have plenty of HP regen. He'll just pop a Salvi, but it does inflict quite a bit of damage. In the tier 1 tower, it's now gone. Another Edict will come out, and this will be a fast tier 1 tower.
There is no glyph available, so it is going to fall. Edict available. It'll be popped from the tree line. Perfect positioning from Reeves. And Mantis even gets the last hit. Good start for NEXT.kz in that lane. Still, we should take a look at the gold graph, the experience graph, since it's been a passive game. How are the trades? 1,000 gold lead for the Radiant. That's just your tower. Experience 500 to the Dire. Still even, but Darkseer is kicking in a bit. He's got his headdress. He can work towards potentially that very fast mag. It looks like that is the case. What if Fucker goes in mid? He's got Coil. Cannot find a kill just yet on Tame My Wild.
Yeah, I think the one thing with this fast T1 tower push, as well as just fast safe lane tower push in general, sometimes it's actually not a good thing. It pushes out the lane, it gives the offlaner, or even a hero like one of the supports like the Earthshaker, some experience and farm to get in that bottom lane, so it's not always a good thing to push these fast towers in your safe lane. If it's in the off lane or if it's in mid lane, it's a different story, but in the safe lane, sometimes it doesn't help, so NEXT.kz need to use this early gold to sort of some effect here. They need to get aggressive, they need to take more fights. They will have what looks to be a very fast Midas. Actually, no, it's not a Midas coming out on the lime seal. It's going to be, looks to be a fast phase boost.
Interesting. Started with the Gloves of Haze. It does help you jungle.
Yeah.
Top lane, though, they're diving really, really nice. And he gets glimpsed back. This looks to be trouble. Fisher is there. Arsart journeyed all the way from bottom for this. And the pings come out. He's probably saying, where the hell was that hero? No MIA called, I suppose. But off the map for a very long time.
Yeah, Assad's just, that's one of the great things about Earthshaker. You just want to spend as much time in Fog as possible. And then even the 1v1 mid heroes, like Puck's probably thinking, if I go on this guy, is there going to be a fissure catching me from Fog? The Fog fissure from Fog is just such long range, it can be almost anywhere on the map at any time. It's one of the true powers of an Earthshaker, just being hidden on the map. All 3 lanes have to be careful then.
Yeah, especially in this version. As you mentioned, the buff just makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's only 100 units, but it feels like exactly the amount he was missing before. In Dota 1, it felt a lot longer, but in Dota 2, well, it's been rectified.
I agree. I remember when I was playing with Natural 9, they used to flame my Earthshaker so much. When I was playing Dota 2, they're like, man, you have to learn Earthshaker. Like, that was when Dota 2 first came out in the limited pool, and I kept telling them the fissure was shorter, and they wouldn't believe me.
You play the Earthshaker. See how it is. Look at these tools I have to work with.
I'm like, look guys, my Earthshaker sucks. We have 2 support players. How about the other support player plays him, which was Snoopy? And Snoopy's like, dude, I can't play Earthshaker. I'm a Hun player. I'm just like, come on.
There's Earthshaker and Han. That's no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullshit. That's what I say. Shackle and Tame My Wild. Power shot is there. Can he get off the song? He can. And Rage ends, and he'll get away. Fissure, Fryarsart turns it around. Great positioning from him yet again. This guy's just got a knack. It feels like Arsart just knows where to be, generally in the right place at the right time. The mark of a good support player.
He's got like inbuilt map hack into his brain as far as being in the right lane, never really getting caught out all too much. He's had a great game so far. Puck needs to be careful mid lane. You saw a lot of mana here. Nagasar gets in for the Riptide. Phase shift is not going to save the Puck. Drops a Dream Call, but What a fucker. One more right click. Ensnare is there.
Strange.
What a fucker goes down the mid lane.
Oh, and that's got to be infuriating. There was a haster in top. It was almost enough. Meanwhile, your Windrunner caught top lane. Will go down as well. Well, the bodies continue to hit the deck. This is turning quickly. And it only 5 kills. We had a game that was 2 kills per minute earlier in this series. Or I guess it was the last one. But this one actually feels very action-packed. 5 kills 8 minutes in, but it feels like a lot more.
Yeah, it really does. There's another ding goes off. Lifesteal, it's fast phase boots. He does have the gloves there, but having the gloves there is just, I mean, he was using obviously to help farm fast from the jungle, and he can turn that into his armlet later on.
And for the time being, it looks like VP are just content to slowly try and work down this tower top lane. Mid lane, the Naga Illusion's deployed. Reeves is rotated here to try to get a bit of experience. I think a big thing is Arsart can now farm this bottom lane, whereas you look at really, really nice. He actually hasn't lost this tower yet, and surprisingly he's level 5. I thought he would have struggled a bit more against the Weaver Disruptor dual lane, but with the Earthshaker off the lane, I suppose that's why. What a fucking no coil, but chipping away at Tame My Wild mid, looking to go in. Won't actually find an opening, and they'll back off.
Yeah, and considering Windrunner was initially meant to be a support hero, this is pretty good for your off lane, having the level 5. No real item progression, but just the levels alone is being really nice. I haven't seen much from Illidan, of course. He is the safe laning farmer. He has managed to get a kill here and there from the Windrunner, but not a hero you expect to move around the map. And once we get some more levels, some more farm, we'll probably even see a TP picked up from the Weaver just to help out these other lanes if needed.
There's your Riptide mid lane. Whatafucker continues to take harassment and damage, and the top lane, it could be a dive by Illidan Stormrage. Does he really commit for this? He's got time lapse. He actually does it now. No mana for it. There you go. Just gets it off. Oh, he had to change the intreads there. That could have been trouble if he was a split second slow, but does get away in the end. Hoping to force a TP, I imagine, but won't be successful in the end.
Next rune. It's like an important one. Nagasiren going to get a regen here near the top lane. Fission not going to block off Reeves. I think Nagasiren's maybe thinking it was a block, but no.
And this is where something you mentioned earlier really comes into play. We're 10 minutes in, Darkseer's just picked up a mech. And what has your Lifestealer done for you lately if you're NEXT.kz? It doesn't feel like much. They're diving top again. Really, really nice. Windrun available. He's waiting. He pops it right as the net connects. Shackle. Gonna latch on Illidan, but they need a lot of follow-up to bring him down. It doesn't look like it's there. Remember, there is a mech. He pops it. The song comes out. They don't have a net for this adult Lifestealer, though, and he'll continue to chip away while deployed. Oh, man. Here we go. No coil. It's already been used. Reeves is going to fall in a jiffy. Now Lifestealer forced to fight his way out. Call down is there. Cleans up the illusions. Onto Whatafucker. Finds one. Orbs away. Thinks about going back in on KSI, and while that's happening, it's been a Disruptor ultimate. Tame My Wild on the run. Jada Medved on the run as well. And can NEXT.kz find this additional layer of kills? It looks like they came a little bit short. The big thing was Arsart was not there in that fight. If he was there, I think VP could have found quite a few.
Yeah, they needed us. Great Puck play there. Weaver with an Iron Shield did a ton of damage, but Puck managed to clean him up with some nice burst damage, and also maxing out the Waning Rift, I think, caught Weaver a bit by surprise there, because he was playing way too aggressive. Got burst down, and once he was dead and killed off by the Puck, the fight, that was most of VP's sort of damage and kiting taken out of the fight, and then NEXT.kz could chase somewhat unafraid.
I also think it's because Weaver, Illidan actually had gold for his ultimate orb, but hadn't bought it before that fight. I think that HP, and especially if he had strength treads, would have kept him alive long enough to get off time lapse and survive, but didn't in the end. But he's got the ultimate orb now.
Still farming as well for Mantis. He's actually stacking off Ancients here as well using a neutral creep, which is being spotted by VP, but VP don't have any way of contesting this as far as killing it themselves. They can maybe look to gank Gyro when he goes to clear it off, but that's about it for them.
Yeah, speaking of Mantis, he's gone early helm of the Dominator, like you mentioned, stacking Ancients, and that could allow them to pull ahead in terms of gold. And if this goes late enough, I do think NEXT.kz have the much better late game with Gyrocopter and Lifestealer and 2 natural Hex carries and a Windrunner and a Puck. If this goes late, VP are going to be very hard pressed. Like, if we look to 35, 40 minutes, they'd better have complete map control or close to it. Or it's so hard to break the base of NEXT.kz. Into Coil, into Flak, into Call Down, and into Shackle Shot. If even a few of those spells connect, it could spell their doom, and with enough items, well, NEXT.kz could just right-click them to death.
Yeah, that's what we see VP looking to sort of tank up as much as possible. Illidan straight for the Linkens, even picks up the ultimate orb nice and early for that extra HP. Once again, he's going on this Windrunner. Fissure is there. As the Windrun goes off, this is going to be a dead Windrun, nothing to shackle to it.
Meanwhile,
he's actually coming in.
Arsart trapped next to the Darkseer wall. He goes in for an Echo Slam, but he can't get it off because he was silenced by your puck. Now KSI maybe trying to turn this around. Stallcat driven back. It looks like he will be able to escape, and it's Whatafaka being chased by Illidan. Illidan needs to clean this one up because the Leshrac just took down Medved. There's no swarm for 6 seconds, but orbing onto the hill is Whatafaka. That's where he needed to go, canceling his animations, narrowly dodging Riptides left, right, and center. Are we going to see a mirror image? There's one on the high ground now, but there's no Riptide to follow him. Now he orbs to the left. He gets back to the tower. Great jukes by him. Now Stallcat netted up and trying to fight his way out with Rage. It's only a level 2 net. It's not really that long. Manta's coming in. He's a vehicle for a Lifestealer payload, and a rocket gives chase. There's your song. Perfectly timed. Needed to get it off then. He needs to TP out as well. He's waiting. He's waiting. Maybe not. They'll let this Lifestealer bomb come out. Where's that Lifestealer? He pops out now, but has very low HP, and Illidan might be able to kill him off. He will. Illidan starting to steamroll in this fight. Ion Shell diving really, really nice. Dropping him down, picking him up. Shackle won't latch. He's going to fall as well. The Ion Shell should give him the damage necessary. Double kill for him. 3 hit the deck. Mantis does survive, but his Ancients have been spotted out now, and next time around, VP are probably coming for those too.
Yeah, VP don't, as mentioned, don't have the best lineup for Gexing killing them off, but they'll be keeping a very close eye, not allowing Gyrocopter to ever get time or space to kill them off. But great fight and chasing coming out from VP. I thought that Shackle shot at the end was going to either latch to a tree or to the Darkseer or something, but didn't catch to either of them. From there, it went very, very downhill for him. VP, just their chasing ability with Beaver and Darkseer is really scary.
It's interesting to me that Stallcat has actually gone for a Rage Max this game. Medved tries to TP out, and I think he's going to escape here. Well played, but yeah, level 1 open wounds in the mid game. I can understand getting a few points in Rage and not fully maxing open wounds, but you need more than one. That spell is just pretty crap at level 1 in this version.
Yeah, it seems. I guess he got the extra point in Feast for the jungler. Maybe,
yeah, you need
like
more
you
than
say,
one, but I don't think
like
you need
you
max
say,
Rage.
get 1 less point in Rage or something, and even just having 2 points in Rage early on. He can't really offer a whole lot. He actually, because he tried to TP and help out earlier in the top lane, and I was like, oh, we're sort of not bashing, but just commenting on how Lifestealer can't do much to get involved, and he tried to, but I didn't realize he only had the level 1 open wounds, and that really limits him right now.
Yeah, I did.
With small range.
I didn't either until just now. I clicked on it. I wondered why could he not get in range of that Disruptor, and there's your answer. In come the Naga illusions created by the mirror image. They're going to scout things out, and they're going to drive NEXT.kz off this tower mid. Shackle to fly. Linkens is there to block it. And they do find the tower actually will be a deny. Nicely done by NEXT.kz, but the chase is on and the fight is on. Stallcat's run in a bit too far. The swarm going through his rage, and he will drop in a hurry, but Mantis drops a huge call down. Catches 2. Lots of damage being done. Now he still has to fight his way out against the other 3. KSI low, not dead yet. Surges out, and he will end up escaping. Mantis going in. Going ham. Jodam forced to run away. The kinetic field buying him time to retreat, but Whatafaka gives chase. Silence. Orb to fly, potentially, has 5 seconds to go. The Split Earth not going to latch. He will barely escape.
He evaded one of those right clicks, which saved his life.
Oh, Arsart, up the high ground he goes. He doesn't have mana for the killing blow. No enchant totem. He must be so friggin' mad right now. A power shot, a retaliatory raged one comes out.
He's got no, like you say, no mana. He can't actually TP out of this puck. Maybe we can chase him down.
What a glimpse.